Welcome to LFFL Primetime, your week 4 recap and your week 5 preview. That's right, let's get cranking with the old school original league. That's right, the LFFL. For the 33rd consecutive year, we will not have an undefeated team. Eric loses to Matt Merrill, 117 to 95. Matt, our longest standing of members, ensures that we'll have another season of no undefeated teams. Very good, Matt. Looking at your other action. Phil up. No, I'm sorry, not an upset. Phil destroyed me. We have Greg beating Josh. Miles, a 3-point win over Bill. We touched on this one in the What to Watch For show. DK Metcalf does his job, gets the win over Bill. Andy, the high score of the week in his defeat of Todd. 0-4 for my sorry squadron. My worst start since I started 0-6 in the inaugural season. That's right, I lost my first 6 games in this league. Terrible, absolutely terrible. Not great, Bob. I've seen better. Looking at the standings over here, Eric is in first place. Andy, Phil, Miles, all at 3-1, all tied for that top spot, but Eric has scored the most points. Bill Berardi and Matt and Greg are at 2-2. Josh and Todd at 1-3, and I am 0-4. Fun fact right here: your last 3 Super Bowl participants, myself, Todd, and Josh, actually, the last 3 Super Bowls have only featured me, Todd, and Josh in some combination. Look at our records. Not so good. Looks like we might have some new blood in Super Bowl this year. Week 3 in the LFFL. 3-1 Eric taking on 1-3 Todd. Eric does remain the leading scorer in the league. Todd, only 8th, not so much. But Todd has won the last 4 matchups and is now even the series at 27-27. 3-1 Andy takes on 2-2 Bill. Andy is the league's second highest scoring team. Andy's win over Bill last season snapped a 4-game losing streak to Bill and gave him a 24-23 series lead. Josh at 1-3 takes on Matt at 2-2. This is a rematch of Super Bowl 14 in 2008, which was won by older brother Matt, 138-123. Josh, however, holds the 20-14 lead in the series, including 4 straight. Finally, Greg, 2-2, taking on my 0-4 team. Normally, this is a prime time affair, a big time matchup. This year, it's a pillow fight. Greg and I are 9th and 10th in scoring, which is pathetic. We do have this rich history. Maybe we can draw on that to create a good matchup here. We've hooked up for 3 Super Bowls. Greg won Super Bowl 15 in 2009. I won Super Bowls 12 and 23 and 2006 and 2017, respectively. I do hold a slim 17-16 lead in the series. Your primetime matchup is none other than Miles returning to the game this week, this time to take on Phil. For a second straight week, we only have one matchup where both teams have a winning record. This one, Phil and Miles both 3-1. Miles squeezed out that primetime win over Bill last week. Phil, on the other hand, has been very, very hot. 150 points at least in his last 3 games. These are third and fourth in scoring on the season. They have split their 8 career games at 4-4. Currently, Fantrax has Phil as an overwhelming favorite. Part of that is Phil doesn't have anyone on bye, really, and Miles has like 2 receivers on bye. He has a quarterback with a broken hand on bye. His backup quarterback has a torn Achilles. He has no quarterback this week. So I'm sure Miles will figure it out. The game went closer, but Phil does appear to be a favorite right now. LFFL 2, Andy remains undefeated in this league. That's right, Andy, with the big win over Sean to move to 4-0, continues to pace the LFFL 2. Eric beat me. Greg beat Bill. We had Miles over Todd and Phil over the Merrill brothers. That means Andy at 4-0, followed closely by Phil, Eric, Greg, and Miles, all sitting at 3-1. Todd at 2-2, and then Bill, the Merrills, Sean, and myself still looking to get some real momentum going this season. This week, we got Bill taking on myself and 2 teams that desperately need a win. Eric taking on Sean. We have Greg at 3-1 taking on Todd at 2-2. But your matchup of the week is right here. Phil at 3-1 taking on Andy 4-0. 2 high-scoring teams in the league right now. Should be a good one over there. Finally, we have Miles taking on the Merrills. LFFL 3, Eric, high scorer of the week, moved himself to the top of the league in scoring with his 129 points in a win over Nate. I was able to take care of Matt Brennan. Miles and DK Metcalf touched out Bill in this league also. Greg, a 15-point win over Sean. Todd, a convincing win over Matt Merrill. And then finally, Andy with a tight victory over Phil. As I said, Eric has moved to the top scoring team, which puts him atop the standings as well. We have 6 teams tied at 3-1 over here. Eric leads the way at 436 total points scored over 4 games. Very impressive stuff. I am also 3-1. Todd, Miles, Bill, and Greg all at 3-1. Andy and Phil at 2-2. Matt, Brandon, Sean at 1 and 3. Nate and Matt Merrill still looking for that first win. Look at this. Looky here. Greg and I may be a stinker over there in the original league, but we got 2 3-1 teams squaring off in this one. We have Matt Merrill taking on Miles. We have Todd taking on Bill in another matchup of 3-1 teams. Sean taking on Matt Brennan. Someone will get a needed second win. Phil taking on Nate, and Eric will take on my brother in this one. Congratulations to Jeremy, his first main slate win of the season. Tough start to the season, 10th, 10th, and 11th. Rebounds with a win in week 4, 179.16, a strong score. His third career win in this league. Matt Brennan comes in second. Greg comes in third. Continues to do well in the standings for those two. Looking at Monday, Jeremy, the double. That's right. Got his second showdown win of the season, his fifth overall win, just half a point over Phil, 68.62, Phil 68.12. Matt Brennan comes in third over here. And look at, no surprise here, Matt Brennan is leading this sucker. Yeah, I just said his name multiple times. 47 points, Greg at 40, Eric at 37. Look at the LFFL 5. Sean and I both lose, leaving Phil as the only undefeated team. Sean lost to the aforementioned Phil, 211 to 177. Eric touched me out, a 6-point win by Eric. I was debating whether to drop one of my injured guys because Derwin James was ruled out. I couldn't decide whether to cut a defender. Had I gone ahead and cut a player and added a defender, I may very well have beaten Eric, but you just never know in the moment. Greg loses a close one to Nate. Miles loses to Todd, beats Todd and Bill, a convincing win over Andy. So your standings, Phil, the only undefeated team left over here, with Sean and I both losing to drop to 3-1. Big group of teams at 2-2. Greg, Bill, Eric, Nate, all at 2-2. Miles, Andy at 1 and 3. Todd still for that first win. Looking at this week's action, Phil and I going at it. He had to take on Sean last week, gets me this week. Todd taking on Greg, Bill taking on Nate, Cooper Troopers taking on Miles, and Sean taking on Andy. Looking at the LFFL 6, we have a new leader. That is right, Miles jumps from third all the way up to first. Very impressive stuff. Also takes over the lead in the August draft. Greg remains in second, which means Phil drops from first down to third for the week. Now, Nate, your week's big mover, moved from 10th all the way up to 5th. I got 1.5 points in the standings. Very impressive stuff. Sean also was able to move up 5 spots from 12th to 7th. Looking at monthly leaders, February is Eric, March is Greg, April is Miles, May is Casey, June is Phil, July is Matt Brennan, and August is also Miles. LFFL 7, our survivor continues surviving. That's right. Josh came in to Monday Night Football with the lowest point total, comes out with not the lowest point total, ends up getting rid of his brother. Matt is the elimination this week, 137.7 points. Josh is just ridiculous in this league, the way he survives. Matt joins previously eliminated Jeremy, Todd, and Casey. LFFL 8, congratulations to Matt Brennan, 244.4, the second highest single game total in the history of this league. Very impressive. Shoots himself all the way up to second place. I jump into the lead, a new leader again. We have had 4 different weeks. We continue to trade the lead back and forth. No one's held it for 2 weeks in a row. I do want to point out, Matt Brennan is still 30 points shy of first place. Phil had 278.9 points in week 5, 2021. I don't know how he did that. Considering the high scores tend to be like in the low 2s in this league. I got nothing. Finally, the league we all want to know about. It is bracket time, my friends. The qualifying round is over. Matt Brennan came up short on Monday Night Football. Seattle guys just didn't do enough offensively. So his team came up just short of getting into the final bracket. He remains 17th. Now, actually, he was in before the week started, but only 125.4 points dropped him from 14th down to 17th. Jeremy takes advantage, slides into the final bracket spot, actually goes up a spot to claim the 15 seed and not the 16 seed. So congratulations, Jeremy. Actually got both teams in. We'll get to that in a minute. Now, we have a bracket, 4 regions, 4 teams. Each region is named after the first 4 picks of the first ever LFFL draft. That's right. The first pick, Randall Cunningham. Second pick, Jerry Rice, the 2 seed over there. Number 3 pick, Dan Marino. Oh, man, I can't believe you beat me to the punch on that one. 3 seed over there. I ended up settling for Barry Sanders with the 4th pick. Barry Sanders. The Sanders region is the 4th seed. Let's look at your original Cunningham region, and this is fun. Look, we've never had this happen before. Greg is taking on Greg. That is right. Both Greg teams qualify. One Greg team is awesome. One Greg team by the skin of their teeth. Greg 2 taking on Greg 1. Good news is Greg's got a winner moving on. Bad news is Greg's going to have a team out. Number 8 seed is Todd 1. Number 9 seed is Miles 2 going at it to face Greg in the next round because we know he's going to win. The Rice Division, Casey 2 takes on Jeremy 2 in the 2-15 game. And look at this. Another region, another person has both their teams in the same region. Jeremy is also the 7 seed taking on number 10 seed Matt Brennan. Looking at the Merino Division, and what do we have here? Phil 2 is the number 3 seed taking on Nate 1 as the 14 seed. But look, Nate, 2 teams in this region. Number 6 seed is Casey. Number 11 seed is Nate 2. And then finally, Sanders Division, Eric 2 holding it down as the 4 seed, taking on Bill 2 as the 13 seed. And looky here, friends. All 4 regions, we have a double up. Bill has 2 teams in this region. His 12 seed will take on Phil's 5 seed, and we all know about those 5-12 upsets. Could Bill pull a 5-12 upset? Could Bill pull 2 upsets and guarantee a team moving to the semifinals? We'll see. We'll see what happens. Now, obviously, your Cunningham winner, your 1 seed, will take on your 4 seed, the Sanders winner, and 2-3 in the Rice Merino situation. Now, looking at your final standings of the teams qualified, it starts with Greg 2 at 924.8 points. That is a new qualifying record. No one has ever hit a total that high in the qualifying rounds before. I was close. I tried to give him some heat, end up settling for the 2 seed. All the way down there, you can see to Greg 1 is the last qualifying team. We had 6 managers qualify both teams this year. Greg is a 1 in 16. I got a 2 and a 6. Phil got a 3 and a 5. Jeremy got a 7 and a 15. Nate 11 and 14. Bill a 12 and 13. As I said, 4 of those 6 teams qualified themselves in the same little regions. Now, here are your reminders for this round. This round will last 3 weeks. 3 weeks, 5, 6, 7. You can replace 1 player between now and the start of their game, whether it's Thursday game, Sunday game, whatever. Must come from the same group. So if you're replacing a player in group 12, that player must come from group 12. Now, the only exception, of course, is kickers and defenses. They can go anywhere you want them to go. Email me, text me, whatever you need to do to let me know who your replacement is. They just have to be reported before that game starts or before the player you're cutting's game starts. So I will get on this quicker. 1 replacement per round. So this round, this first Sweet 16 round, you're going to replace 1 guy. Okay? And then we'll go from there. So 3 rounds. We'll see who moves on. It'll be awesome. Thanks so much for watching, listening. Sign up for our DraftKings contest. Both the links are in the emails. We've had a lot of doubles in these DraftKings things, so maybe it could be your week to do it. Maybe it's my week to do it. So have fun this week, and we will definitely talk to you soon.